How's that sound? Strong? No strong S's sounds everywhere? Okay. All right, so welcome to the Modest Measure podcast, prototype run. You might call this the first episode. You might call this a test. We're just going to see what we can do here today and try to keep it going for a few minutes. I'll try to do, 5 or 10 minutes if I can. Hard to say. I get bored easily. That's why I need music to keep me entertained. So we have this beautiful new studio in Yorkton that Lori Renton was kind enough to let us lease from her, and at a very reasonable price, I might say. Very grateful, and I love this place. So far, the people around here are pretty cool. I already have a new student here in Yorkton teaching her piano, which is nice. Hopefully we get some more students in the near future. We're always trying to teach more people to play more music. And of course, we've got some cool software in the works that we'd like to get some original compositions into. So the more measures written by real human beings, the better, because we can use those measures in our songwriting software to compete with this nonsense fake AI stuff that keeps going around now. This auto-generated content is so boring and literally the opposite of inclusive and participatory. I mean, you couldn't be more exclusive. You couldn't be more, you couldn't create a system with less access. For like fewer and fewer people will be able to take advantage of a system designed to exploit more and more people. And I prefer the more creative avenue of real human beings, or at least real living creatures, creating real choices and capturing those choices in the form of music in this case. So that's what I think matters about the creative process, and I think that's what we try to encourage here at Mountjoy Music Studio. So this Modest Measure podcast that we're trying to create here will be an opportunity for us to talk about the issues that matter to us around music and music composition and the creative process, and of course, trying to get these students to a point where they feel empowered to write and to put something new into the world. And that's what music, I think, is all about. Is every generation has its version of it. Every artist has their unique take on it, or sound that they hear, or sound that they project. There's a lot of information there to explore, and people have a great time doing that. I think the musical therapy aspects are amazing. Music can simply improve your life. Just having it around, the process of learning music is constructive and empowering, and the more that you do it, the more you feel like you've spent time doing something worthwhile, and that makes you feel better in general. So there's a lot to be said about music and the good it does just in the general life of a person, not even just a musician who, say, wants to be a professional or wants to go into into some kind of career path, but might actually just simply enjoy music for music's sake. So we have a couple of things in the works here that we're hoping to kind of promote. For example, I have a new teacher sharing program that I'm hoping to convince some of the other studios around here to become part of, so that we can have their teachers teach here in my space, and we'll all share the revenue, and also be able to get some of their students to come into my program, which is more composition oriented and less specifically about being really good at any particular instrument. So I'm more than happy to let these other studios continue to enjoy teaching specific instruments at a higher level than I could possibly teach specialists in their craft, in their particular instrument. And I'd love to do seminars and bring them here to do multi-class or multi-student classes, which I don't think they're doing very many of right now, and that would be nice. I think everybody would make more money. I don't think we have to be territorial about these kind of things. There's a lot of people and a lot of music, and there's a lot of opportunity for all of us. So let's pursue those. So what else can I cover today here in this first test? Mostly just testing the mics and, seeing how this place kind of works as a place to record these. And so far I like it. I mean, I got an office. I got a kind of a secret room well, it's not so secret, but nobody can go in there except me. So it's kind of secret, where I have my coffee maker. That's right. That's what we have in our secret rooms in, the magical music studios. We have coffee. Speaking of, so what else have we got here? We got this other far room that I'm hoping to turn into into maybe like a vocal booth or something. That would be nice. We got a table outside there in the hall with hundreds of used music books for people to go through, and if you like something, take it. And there's a poster on the wall with the web address to our shopping page there, or our website there, and you can go to our shopping page and you can, pay for the books that you needed or whatever that you took, on your honor. I'm not going to hunt you down over it. If you forget to pay, oh well. But the money does go toward the students, so it would be really nice if you did pay. And we'll see what else we can get out there, small items and stuff. I'm not trying to be a music store here. I just want to be a little music studio with some product that my students can get access to when they come through. I will probably do my best to, stock, any product that I put there from local suppliers such as Saddles and Steel, and, for Gretsch stuff, definitely Fuzztone, because they are the Gretsch dealer in town. So what else do we want to do? Well, let's see. Let's talk about the neighborhood a little bit. I like this neighborhood. We're right by that giant teepee. So right across the street there, and we got a lot of cool stores around here. So I'll have to check them out in the near future. We're basically right beside a Taekwondo studio. So that's pretty fortuitous. A lot of kids that respect self-discipline, and parents that respect self-discipline, and that that screams music, because music is hard work and it takes dedication and time, and you have to be committed to it for a long time. So it definitely doesn't hurt to be in something like a martial art, because that teaches very similar skills. So what else have we got going on? So this is Yorkton here. So I've got my bigger studio in Priestville, and I love that studio. I do. But the big studio in Priestville takes a lot of work to keep warm during the winter, because it's 2,400 square feet, and to keep it economical, during the pandemic especially, when we couldn't have any income, and I didn't take CURB or any government benefits during any of that, so I had to live on savings or whatever I could just kind of earn along the way. And so I have wood stove and propane. Propane's a little expensive, so I try to stick it as much as possible to the wood stove. But that takes a good half a day to heat up. And so if I'm in Yorkton here for most of the week now because of my dad's dialysis treatments, when I do get back to Priestville for the 3 days a week, it takes like half the first day just to heat it up. So that's kind of a pain. But I love it during the rest of the year. So there's basically 2 months of the year where using the Priestville studio is a real pain in the ass. But the rest of the time, the other 10 months, it's fantastic. And of course, my Gretsch Renown 57 drum kit, obviously I miss those when I'm not able to go play them every day like normal. But, I play them a good couple of days a week now, just when I'm out in Priestville. So that's fine. That's enough. The rest of the week, I have piano and bass and guitar, and, my ukulele and my little violin, my electric violin. So there's lots of stuff to keep me active during the week, and of course teaching students and so on. Such good coffee. Okay, so I'm hoping to get a good deal on this piano that Garth has down at Saddles. We'll see if he gives me a deal on that. That would be nice, because then I wouldn't have to take this keyboard here back and forth between Priestville and Yorkton every time I make these trips, because right now I have to take it back with me because I have students in Priestville that I have to teach piano for. So, and also the vocal lessons. So when we do vocal lessons and I have singers come in to do their vocal exercises, obviously we use piano quite a bit of the time to sort of accompaniment for those exercises. One of the nice things about having a gigantic used music book collection, and I mean like a lot, I have a lot of used music books. And so what we try to do is, and I do this for every student that comes in, is we'll have them sort of go through the books, kind of look them over maybe, or I'll look them over, spend a lesson or two with them. And I kind of have a sense of their nature or their character, so to speak, and what they kind of would like or not like. And I'll look through the books, or they'll look through the books, and we'll find something that is suitable in their particular instrument that they want to cover. And that's it. And we'll start doing some exercises from those books, and then we'll do that for a few weeks, and then do another book, or maybe we'll do 2 or 3 books at the same time. And I find some books have some great advice on some things, and other books have great advice on other things. And obviously, I don't know a great deal about anything because I am just a young music teacher trying to get by. But these are masters that have written these books, and they know what they're talking about. And but there are many opinions, and many masters have many views on things, and so it's good to teach these many views to many different students who themselves have many different views. And I guess my job is to some extent to bridge the gap between the mountain of books they could be reading, and kind of whittle it down to what I think are the group that they would really benefit from optimally in their particular what they like or whatever. So far I think this is going pretty good. I think it's pretty good for a first try, and I guess we'll see how it goes in the future. We'll try to do some guests, I guess, at some point. There's a lot of local musicians, so furnace is kicking in. That's one of the differences between here and Priestville, is in Priestville there is no furnace to interfere with my recording. So here's okay for podcasts and stuff. I mean, nobody cares about that stuff for podcasts. In fact, people like organic texture for podcasts. But when it comes to recording music, when it comes to recording someone's playing their instrument, 20 times in a row to try to get the best take, when someone's trying to, sing, you got to have your vocal booth, you got to have your conditioned walls, you got to have your soundproofing. In my Priestville studio, it's 2,400 square feet. The back 2/3 are all recording area and theater, and all the walls are specially sound dampened and treated, but including the ceilings and the floors. And I simply can't do that here at the studio in Yorkton, because I don't own this space. I rent it, and this is more suitable for basic podcast recording, videos like that, and doing lessons and stuff like that, and of course meetings and other business related activities. So that's really what this is for. And I'm really happy to have the space, and it makes a lot of things a lot easier for me. As much as I love the Priestville space, at this time of year, December, it's much nicer in Yorkton right now. And I am looking forward to getting back into Priestville tomorrow morning, though, so that I can do some drumming, and so that I can teach my lessons to my students. And of course, I have Sam Parkin, who will come in and do some strategizing for his talent career here that he's signed up to help me kind of sort of guide him in. And so that's a lot of fun as he tries to create a band and find some regular players nearby, and he started buying songs from some of the people he knows. So that's a good sign, and hopefully if he listens to my advice on the long term, he will have himself a very capable band, not just a band, but a business of his own, in which he can make some kind of living, hopefully for many years to come. So, and if really lucky, maybe something hits and he'll make a very good living for many years to come. And that's what we're trying to do, is create new original music that people respond to and can make a living for these artists, because they deserve to make a living. They work hard. It takes a long time to get good at these instruments. And of course, as I said earlier in the podcast, there is a special essence that every artist brings to creative work, something that no other artist can offer. It cannot be repeated. It cannot be replaced. Shakespeare will never happen again. That's it. The 10,000 monkeys at 10,000 typewriters are eventually writing everything as nonsense. We've learned this with AI and other things like that. You just cannot auto-generate moments that matter. Moments that matter have to be real. And real moments that really matter take real people, or at least real living creatures, but so far real people, making real music based on their real experiences. Can I say the word real enough? Real, real, real. AI is artificial. Okay, auto-generated is artificial, and it is like watered down derivative corporate, resell, repackaged nonsense that's going to be perfect for filling 90% of streaming services, because that's all they are anyway. But for those who actually want real content with real ideas being produced by real people, there's going to be a growing demand, I think, for that, as people start to understand what they're starting to lose when they spend all their money on this auto-generated nonsense. And the idea that they're tokenizing it and trying to get you to pay for prompting, pay per prompt, like seriously, that's, oh my, not since casinos have I seen something that predatory. And at least casinos are fun. All right? I don't see how prompting is fun. Prompting is to programming what middle management is to labor. Take all the credit for other people's work. That's basically what it is. So I would avoid it if I were you. Like an oracle in the Greek myths, it'll give you an answer, but not necessarily the answer. And those who tend to rely on its advice don't really go very far. It doesn't seem to work out for them. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these auto generators, or you're getting a little worried about these auto generators being a little too competitive. I wouldn't worry about it. They're certainly no more competitive than, some other person who you maybe respect and think is very good at what they do. So just think of it like that. If someone ever did manage to come up with a tweaked, trained, adjusted, modified, prompted, human, tweaked AI that seems to pump out something cool, just remember 99% of that value was from the human that tweaked it, and not from the actual software itself. Software is nothing without the programmer who writes it. A book is nothing without the author, and it's the same thing with any kind of creative work. A painting is nothing without the painter. And the more you try to take away the painter, the less value in the painting. And it's directly proportional, so there really is nothing to worry about. Creating laws around AI is very much like creating laws for psychic powers. It's pointless. At best, it's optics. It's very expensive. It's just basically a waste of time. Maybe it makes some scaredy cats feel a little better, but it doesn't do anything in real life because there was never anything to do anything about. So, So sleep well, knowing that it'll be just as hard and just as almost impossible tomorrow for you to create something cool as it was today. But at the same time, know that people do it every day. People do the impossible every day. So one day that might be you. Okay, so this is Tony Mountjoy here at Mountjoy Music Studio over at 7 Broadway Street West, Yorkton, Saskatchewan, at my new studio here. Right next door to that Taekwondo studio and across the street from that giant teepee, and right near my sign over by Dairy Queen, and sign right there above the door. And so you should see me pretty easily when you walk by. And of course my little A sign pointing up to saying that there's music lessons. All right, so stop on in sometime when I'm here, usually between Wednesdays and Saturdays. 9 to 9 is when I can be here. I'm not always actually here, but that's when I can be here for appointments and lessons and so on. So you can give us a call here, text, I should say, do not call, text, because I might be in a lesson. So text 737-3575, area code 306, of course, and visit the website at www.mountjoymusic.com. That's www.mountjoymusic.com.